All right. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. We have a wonderful presentation. We're going to have Terry O'Daniels talking about going far together and how to build your squad. I'll hand it on over and let's give a quick round of applause.
Hey everyone, if I can just fight through this crowd for a second to see you all. Oh, there you are. Okay, good. Welcome to approaching the end of B-Sides. Thank you all for showing up, and I hope we have a little fun. So, my name's Terry O'Daniel, and today I'm going to be talking about building your squad. Picture this. You're defending your company's critical infrastructure from a cyber attack. You're feeling overwhelmed and alone. The clock is ticking, the stakes are high, and the pressure is immense. You're working tirelessly, but you feel like you're in this battle alone, and you're starting to feel despair. Sound familiar? Or how about this? You're trying to get to the next level in your career, or maybe you're dealing with an unexpected setback, like a layoff. You've been updating your resume, and you've been watching interview videos on LinkedIn and YouTube, but you can't seem to make it past the first round of interviews at any job you apply. Well, what if I told you there's a powerful tool to help you overcome these kinds of obstacles? It's not a fancy technology or a secret hack, but rather it's just the power of other people. Just like in any great adventure, having a team of trusted peers by your side can make the difference. So today we're going to explore how to build your squad and why it can be a game changer in your journey. So let's start with the preface of this entire talk. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So let's start with talking about the power of peers. Here's a quick overview of the 4 areas we're going to discuss today. Okay, let's dive into the first aspect of building your squad, finding common cause. Just like in any mission, a strong sense of shared purpose helps bring a squad together. It binds its members to a common purpose. And in the cybersecurity field, that means finding peers who share similar goals, who appreciate the same challenges, or even who have common interests. It could be a group of like-minded professionals in the company you work at now. It could be a local cybersecurity meetup, or it can be an online community, or even a gathering of cybersecurity professionals in one place, like B-Sides. Find those people, join forces with them, and support each other in having common goals. So let's talk about the power of transparency. In cybersecurity, knowledge is power, and that includes knowledge about pay and promotions. Did you know that the gender pay gap in the cybersecurity industry is a well-documented issue? I sure did. According to a study by the Center for Cyber Safety and Education, women in cybersecurity, on average, earn 17% less than men. It's time to change that. By being transparent about your pay and the promotion process you're going through within your squad, you can advocate for fair and equitable treatment around compensation and promotion, and you can promote diversity and inclusion within the field. So let's talk about the importance of mentoring and sponsorship within your squad. Mentoring is a powerful tool for professional growth, and sponsorship can open doors to new opportunities. In fact, research shows that employees who have mentors are more likely to be promoted, earn higher salaries, and have greater job satisfaction. So don't be afraid to seek out mentors and find sponsors within your squad, but also be willing to mentor and sponsor others. Let's lift each other up and help each other thrive in our careers. Last, we'll talk a little bit about resilience. Cybersecurity is a dynamic field with its fair share of challenges, and it has setbacks and even failures. But it's how we bounce back that matters. And your squad can be a source of strength during tough times. Lean on each other for support, share your lessons learned, and celebrate your successes together. By building a resilient squad, you can weather the storms of cybersecurity and your career, and you can come out stronger on the other side. So let's start by talking about the importance of collaboration and knowledge sharing within your squad. Staying up to date on the latest threats, challenges, and technologies is a key part of our field, but we can't do it alone. Your squad can be a valuable source of collective intelligence. Share your knowledge, experiences, and insight with your peers and learn from them. Collaboration not only strengthens your skills, but also fosters innovation and creativity, leading to better outcomes in your cybersecurity efforts. In fact, research shows that those who are collaborating are 5 times more likely to perform at higher levels. Let's discuss the power of networking and building those meaningful relationships within your squad. Cybersecurity is obviously a very rapidly evolving field, and it's not just about what you know, but who you know. Building a professional network of trusted peers can provide you with opportunities for career advancement. It can give you industry insights, and it can even give you job referrals for your next role. So attend those industry events, join professional organizations, and actively engage, but bring your squad along. Network with intention and build meaningful connections that can help you succeed in your cybersecurity career. So, let's talk about diversity and inclusion in your squad. Cybersecurity, I firmly believe, is a field that benefits greatly from diverse perspectives, backgrounds, and experiences. Think about the last time you did a risk analysis. Look around the room. If everyone looked like you during that analysis, do you really have the right perspectives? Studies have shown that diverse teams are more innovative, resilient, and effective at problem solving. So embrace diversity within your squad and actively seek out diverse voices and participants for your squad. Find those new perspectives and foster an inclusive environment where everyone feels welcome. If you build an environment of respect and you make sure that everyone has a voice and can be heard within your squad, you're building an inclusive environment and you promote fairness and equality within your squad, but you're also promoting the overall performance and success of the team. Finally, let's talk about the importance of continuous learning and development. Cybersecurity is a field that always requires us to learn and grow and build those skills due to its dynamic nature. So I encourage you to stay curious, seek out learning opportunities, and encourage your squad members to do the same. Whether it's attending a training program, obtaining a certification, or participating in industry conferences, invest in your professional growth and inspire your squad to do the same. By sharing that continuous learning with your squad, you can stay ahead even in a fast-paced security field like cybersecurity. So 72% of employees surveyed believe that their peers are the best source for learning and diversity, for learning and development. And yet so frequently we go to our managers for learning and development opportunities. Let's talk about transparency in the cybersecurity industry, and especially when it comes to pay and promotion. Transparency is a key component of building trust and fostering a healthy environment. In cybersecurity, it's crucial to have open and honest communication, but about not just technical elements, but also around pay, promotions, and career opportunities. Discussing salaries openly, sharing information about the promotion process, and advocating for fair compensation can help break down inequalities and promote fairness. Transparency also promotes accountability and encourages organizations to prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion. So let's work together to create that culture of transparency within our squad and then take those lessons learned back to our place of business. Let's talk about the power of advocating for yourself and how the squad can help with that. In cybersecurity, it's important to stand up for yourself and for your peers. It's important to take defensible positions and advocate and argue for a position you strongly believe in. Don't be afraid to negotiate in the same way for fair pay, promotions that are equitable, and other career opportunities. Advocate for yourself and for others in your squad who may be facing challenges. Workshop with them how you approach that situation. Maybe they can learn from it. By collectively advocating for fair treatment and helping others see how you do that, we can all create a more inclusive and equitable environment in this industry. Remember, you're not alone on this journey, but by supporting each other, we can go far together. And in fact, supporting each other through challenges is one of the key benefits of this squad. There's a vast importance to mentorship and sponsorship in building your career, but you can find those opportunities within your squad as well. Mentorship can play a pivotal role in professional development by providing guidance, insights, and opportunities for growth. But seek out mentors within your squad who can provide that same advice and support and create opportunities. Mentorship and sponsorship can help level the playing field and create a more inclusive industry in cybersecurity where everyone has equal access to growth and advancement. But it starts by working on that muscle with your squad. Finally, let's talk about resilience and supporting each other through challenging times. The cybersecurity field can be demanding and it can be stressful. So it's essential to create a supportive environment within your squad. Be there for your peers. During challenging times, offer them a helping hand and provide them emotional support. Building a resilient and supportive squad can help you overcome obstacles, navigate through setbacks in your career, and thrive in your career overall. Remember, we're all in this together, but by supporting each other, we can build a strong and resilient cybersecurity community. Studies show that groups that have a peer support group to fall back on feel 40% less stress and likelihood of burnout. That's huge. So let's talk about what you can do with some of the tips I've given you here. In this final section of the talk, we're going to talk about actions you can take to build that squad and ways you can bring those learnings back to the larger industry. It's time to empower yourself by creating a network of like-minded professionals who can support each other. By collaborating and leveraging the power of collective effort, we can achieve remarkable things. So, let's dive into some practical steps for how to build your squad and go far together. The first step in building your squad is to identify common goals and interests. Why is this group of people collecting together? So look for those peers who share similar passions, similar mindset, career aspirations, ways of working, different ways of working, or core values. You can connect through professional organizations, online forums, industry events, conferences, and even within your current company. So collaborate on projects together, share knowledge and expertise, and support each other's growth. Together we're stronger, so by aligning with those like-minded professionals, you amplify your impact in the industry, and you're amplifying your ability to find success within your career. The second step is to create that culture of inclusivity and collaboration within your squad. No one's going to create it for you, so the onus is on each member of the squad to create this actively. Foster an environment where everyone's voice is heard and respected, regardless of their experience level or background. Find ways to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to speak. Not everyone is an extrovert. Sometimes you'll have to create structures to make time for people to be heard. You can encourage open discussion, feedback, one-on-one sessions, and brainstorming sessions. But by embracing that diversity of thought and promoting those inclusive practices actively, you create an environment where everyone feels that their career is valued equally, and everyone has an increased chance of success in those careers. The third step is to support each other's professional growth and development directly. So share those resources that have helped you recommend relevant training and certification programs that work, steer people away from the ones that are bad, provide each other with feedback, provide each other with guidance, celebrate each other's successes, provide constructive feedback on how to improve, create those opportunities for mentorship, either directly within your squad or indirectly, find sponsors and align them with your squad mates, and ultimately collaborate and support each other's growth in an active way. We can collectively elevate our profession, and we can collectively make a positive impact on the industry through these small steps. So, let's review. Building your squad in cybersecurity is not just nice to have. It's a must-have for success in this challenging field. As we've discussed, creating small cadres of peers who support each other can help you navigate your career, increase transparency, and overcome challenging times. So, I encourage each and every one of you to take this action today. Reach out to your colleagues, form your squad, and embark on this journey. Well, folks, that's a wrap. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the importance of building your squad to strategies for success. Now let's recap what we've learned in hopefully a fun and memorable way. First of all, we're all in this together. It's like being in the Avengers, except we have firewalls instead of capes. By building your own squad of like-minded professionals, you can collaborate, support each other, and make a real difference in the industry. But building your squad is not just about saving the world from cyber threats. It's also about having a support system that understands your cybersecurity jokes and shares your love for Star Wars references. Plus, having a crew to commiserate with when that late-night patching goes awry is invaluable. So, here's the bottom line. Don't go solo in cybersecurity. Find your squad, foster a culture of collaboration and inclusivity, and support each other's growth. Together, we can raise the bar in our industry and make our mark as cybersecurity superheroes. I challenge each of you to take action today. Connect with your peers, start building your squad, and take some of these concrete steps. Let's make this industry better and stronger. We can do it together. Thanks for coming with me on this journey, and remember, with the right squad by your side, you can conquer any challenge that comes in your way. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you, Terry. Do we have any questions? We have some time.
Do you have any anecdotal lessons learned, or just stories from in the trenches? Implementing?
Thanks for asking. I don't remember if we're under Chatham House rules here or not, so I'll slightly anonymize them. I think one of the biggest challenges I've had is there's a real motion currently within the cyber community towards sharing the mic, and I am incredibly supportive to share the mic with those who have been underserved, who haven't had a voice within the cyber community. But I'd also like to see people get paid. And one of the things that I've actively involved with is making sure that people who are more junior in our industry have the exposure to those of us who've been around a little longer around what they should be asking for, how they should be negotiating, and what are sometimes the differences from industry to industry. How do you negotiate? In this industry, maybe we talk about total comp. In this industry, base and bonus are more important. I think that is absolutely far and away something I would love for all of us to really lean in. Find the most junior person you can, invoke the cone of silence, and tell them about your own journey so that they can understand what they should be expecting in their own career.
I guess when I saw your talks abstract, I thought it was more about like assembling a team for a purpose, and it seemed to be related to like MIT card counting, at least the allusion in the title. But in terms of assembling a squad for a purpose, how do you know you have the right members? How do you know you need to recruit more, and where to recruit?
That's a good point. I think this is for a purpose, right? I do think it's a bit like collective bargaining. right? You're putting together effort for a common goal, even though you're only trying to help yourself. You understand the value of bringing those people together for that collective action. So I think I'd call out two things briefly. One is there is a high likelihood that you will start your squad in a least diverse way, right? Because you're most likely to start with people that you're most familiar with, and studies show that the people we're most familiar with have the highest degree of commonality with us. We went to the same university, we grew up together, we probably morphologically look the same. So I think it's okay to start there, but if you continue down that path, you're not doing yourself any favors. So I think you have to build in active growth checks whereby you might say, okay, the three of us, that's good enough, but you know what, if we add a fourth person, it can't be another white guy, right? So I think that's one way to approach it, and to have growth checks. I think another way is by bringing in people to share their perspective, because you never know, in the course of those conversations, you may find an ally, and they may become a member of your squad, whether it's for a common purpose at an organization or for a common purpose like this.
Yeah, I also don't mean to sound argumentative, but my question was also regarding DEI. You mentioned that you possibly don't want to hire people who might, look like you in order to get a diversity of ideas, right? How important is it to really test people not just on that inherent trait of appearance or race or sexual orientation, et cetera, but on their ideas within the interview process?
Yeah, that's a great question. And to be clear, I don't think I said that we shouldn't hire people that look like us. I suggested that when you're building your squad, at a certain point you need to make sure that you're looking outside the close-knit circle that you're used to and you're comfortable with. To that point, though, I do think there's a huge, there's a diversity of thought. I am a disabled, neurodiverse single dad. There are several elements of diversity there. I do think, however, there are morphological elements that if I look around a room and everyone's a man, I think there's a problem, because 50% of our world is women. So I do think there are some morphological elements that we should look at, and we should ask ourselves, hey, that's an awfully white room, or gosh, why is it all men in that room? And I think those are perfectly okay ways to start, because visually we get a read on a group based on some of those morphological traits.
So it comes down to, say, life experience that's de facto coupled to who you are, right? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say it doesn't. I would say there's a strong correlation, but it doesn't have to be causation. Is someone who was raised in an inner city environment necessarily also from a economically disadvantaged home? Not necessarily, but there's a correlation. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I guess one more follow-up is, well, okay, let's pretend we're doing a startup. If I just hire engineers, and I can have a diverse sense of engineers, but if we're not reaching beyond the engineering mindset, where like we have to have sales, we have to have marketing folks, we could have to get out of that comfort zone as well, and so you get a diversity of perspectives from other disciplines as well, right? So this is sort of like back to the crack team thing. I'm thinking, like, do we need a guy who can do safes? Do we need a guy who can do hacking? Blah blah blah.
Well, no, I could, but I think even staying within security, I think there's enough diversity of approach. For example, I have used the rigor with which GRC people approach a problem space. I have sometimes asked them to come help out our vulnerability management program, right? Because GRC does a great job of sort of taking a huge unexplainable problem and turning it into a framework, and then we've got a list of 20 things we're going to do, right? Whereas, as we know, vulnerability can be something that we feel like it just grinds on and never ends. So I do think it's important. I don't know that we need to bring in salespeople and marketing people yet, but I do think even within cybersecurity, there are differences in approaches and differences in values even, right? Do we care about speed or quality more? Well, depends on who you ask.
Will be our last one.
Yeah, to that point, I guess, maybe I was expecting something a little bit different, but when I think about my squad, at least within my organization, it's my head of legal, my head of quality and compliance. It's folks outside of security who are natural allies in the challenges that we have to address. What's been your experience, bringing in people from outside the industry into that squad?
That's a good question, actually. I've worked with, this is from personal experience, I've used this a few times, and I do have squads where some folks, most people tend to have a general background in technology and they understand how like the modern tech stack works. They may not be hands-on, but we can have a conversation, right? Like if I say Docker, they know what I'm talking about, right? That tends to be my self-selection criteria. But within that, certainly we've had people who have worked more in the VC space, and they can help us understand how the money people are going to react to the things we're talking about or the things we're building. I've worked with people who have gone from working in the cybersecurity profession as an operator to becoming a product person within a cybersecurity tools vendor. And yeah, so I do think those are related areas that we're talking about, but with different perspectives.
Advice that I had earlier on in my career was essentially, as you're socializing and you're building these networks within your organization, you want to try to reach a level higher.
Absolutely.
Rather than at the peer level. Can the same thing be applied to squads?
That is a really good and really tough question, and we may not have time to answer it. I would say squads tend to have a natural life cycle, but you probably want to push them to end sooner. And we talked a little earlier about having to be intentional about, like, what are we going to do over the next 2 months, 4 months, 3 years, et cetera. You may want to define, like, what is the life of this fund? Well, what is the life of this squad? And that way, there's less of a sense that this is just something that is going to persist forever, but rather it is a temporary thing that we're all using for value. And I think it builds a little more commitment, because people realize that I can only take advantage of this for so long.
Wonderful. Thank you. That was me. Another round of applause, please.
Thank you.